The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line.
Go. 180.
Check 55 to mine.
30. Get that.
This is the former Nittany Lion, the rookie Miles Sanders. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Sanders, the rookie second-round draft pick. They're hoping he can solidify this backfield. It's a backfield for Philadelphia that's really been a revolving door the last couple of years. Jay Ajayi, Corey Clement, Wendell Smallwood, Josh Adams, Donnell Pumphrey, the newly retired Darren Sproles. All those guys getting carries, but nobody really the solid RB1 in Philadelphia.
Check safety.
Tyson. 6'6". Pull it.
On 2nd down now, it's Sanders. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7.
Let's see what you got.
Here's Wentz to throw. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Nigel Bradham brings him down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
54. Mike 54.
I smell fear in that offense.
Throwing on 2nd down. Wilson completing it here to Marvin Jones. Give them 14 on that one and a 1st down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Wilson going to fake the give and keep it himself. And Dixon over the middle.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
check 53. Come to work. We want it. Come on.
On third down, it's Carson, and the play goes nowhere, losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Fourth down, and out is the all-pro punter from a year ago, Michael Dixon, to punt for Seattle, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight.
Let's go, baby.
At their own 29-yard line.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December
Yay,
left.
more football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a two-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Three bud.
Shotgun now for Wentz. It's complete, left side to Aguilar. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Wentz on the give to Sanders. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9. Wentz over the middle, complete to Arcega-Whiteside. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 13-yard line.
That's good. For
And into the red zone now, and Charles, they told us offense in the red zone was a focus this week in practice.
A huge priority, and the key was to get points. So you know that all the time during the week they talked about executing, taking care of the football.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Deshaun Jackson, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0.
next to score, Eagles 7.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line.
As that ball got away from him and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
Breaking the huddle, 1st and goal is the... And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Eagles able to push further out in front.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
That's fielded in the end zone.
The Seahawks take over first and 10.
Let's go.
Their own 25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. They run it with Carson. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back. 14. No.
This is Carson. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Mike 53. Watch the run. Watch the run. Good shot, baby. That's 36 power. Pick the edge. Come. Shoot.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And Jones has it over the middle. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 35.
It's a gain of 23 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Here's Carson. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Watch the curl. Hey. Jumper.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards there and a first down.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17.
14. 54 Mike. 54 Mike. Nice. 54. Man out.
On first down, Carson. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough. On the delay, here's Carson. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 5 yards will get him back to the original line of scrimmage, but now they're looking at 3rd and 10.
Mike, who's the team? Mike 5-4. They gonna need some therapy.
Now it's Carson. And he'll be brought down shy of the first down marker at the 11. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they've bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. And Myers able to knock it through. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
23 yards, the final tally.
First and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Go. Sweetie! Danny.
On first and 10, it's Sanders. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And he's got some space here. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead is up to 18 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3. I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25.
Friday. Check, Mike 54. Watch the run. Tighten up.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend.
Gotta go, in and out, let's go.
Draw play, this is Carson. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
On 2nd down, it's Carson, and he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
On 3rd down, Carson, and he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line, well short of the 1st. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down.
Brings up 4th down.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the 2nd half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the 2nd half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Here's a run on 1st down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. The 2nd down play, not much better than the 1st. Just a gain of 1 there.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. On 3rd down, Wilson. It's caught. Jones. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. The Seahawks moving pretty well through the air. Another 1st down. Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. Now Wilson. And the tight end Dixon left side. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a 1st. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the 1st half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Steps away to his left. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson, 31 yards. And the Seahawks are able to close the gap just a bit. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
We got this.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. The third quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now, those extra plays or plays they haven't run that'll be effective and get them back moving again?
They'll be looking for something here, anything to seize that momentum back. On second and very short, Wentz. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. Touchdown, Philadelphia! Nelson Aguilar with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the third quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done, it's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They did what they had to do to start this third quarter, went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense?
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. They'll try the left side. It's Carson, and he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So their move is to decline that so they don't get another second down. It'll be third.
So that has to tell us that they're pretty confident in their third down defense, right?
Absolutely.
Whether it's their sub package or nickel package, whatever they want to run out there, they feel like they can defend here on third down.
The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on third down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. He's at the 30, the 20, and he is in for the Seattle touchdown. DK Metcalf, 77 yards. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit. Well, this offense only mustered 3 points in the first half on that field goal. They picked up the pace now, 2 third-quarter touchdowns.
Hey, you remember that appearance we had last week in front of that crowd, and they asked about halftime adjustments and all that was going on, and remember what I said, it's not always an adjustment at halftime. Sometimes just remembering the game plan and playing better, tuning it up and just working through it methodically. They got it done in this case.
Of course, I'll always remember that appearance because I had on a brown belt with black shoes, and you pointed that out in front of the crowd. So thanks for that.
I said that out loud?
You did.
My bad.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They had that first half lead, but they have been shut down here in this third quarter, so time to retool a bit.
And probably need to tap into that emotional vein that gets them back to really playing hard and effectively. Because a lot of times we think it's just play calls and this isn't working and they're shutting them down. Sometimes when you get a lead, you lose your edge. You don't play quite as hard. That's what they're looking for here.
Trying to get that edge back as they've watched this lead shrink a little.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Slam.
Another run here with Sanders. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
It's now 3rd and 5.
Go. 180. Sunday.
Watch one. 56. Mike, 56.
From the gun on third down, Wentz. Got his man. It's Arcega-Whiteside. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
Eagles first down. 1st and 10 at the 33.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Here we go.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Right side caught by Jackson. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 23 yards on the play. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. They'll run on first down. It's Sanders. As Sanders has it poked free. And the Seahawks have picked it up. Past the 20. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. And you know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that makes it a 28-24 game.
Seahawks 24. Michael Dixon set to kick off.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They'll be looking to make amends for the events of a moment ago. A fumble return for 6 points.
You absolutely have to protect the football. That's got to be priority number 1 because margin for error is starting to slip away. And now it's down to a 1-score game.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
This was boxing. You think maybe they would have thought about stopping this one because this defense has been bruised, it's been battered, but this is why they keep the fight going, right? They just got done with a really nice play showing they still got a little bit left, don't they?
Haven't had many plays that they can clip, put in the film room, and smile about, but hey, there's one.
Clip and save.
Forced out to his left. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's third down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Fielded just inside the 20. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can.
And now nothing but green ahead of him. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. So from 3 scores down, these guys have fought all the way back to grab the lead. And I'll just tell people what happened when they went up 3 scores. I wrote on your paper 2 words, game over, and now I'm eating those words. I was wrong.
A little salt, a little pepper, goes down pretty easily.
I will admit when I make a mistake.
Well, it looked like it was going that way. This is one of those paging Frank Reich moments, and I can't believe I just brought that up, because Frank Reich at Maryland in college did it to my Tennessee Volunteers, and that was a big reason why my team lost.
Sounds like he still harbors some pain from that game.
You know, we still got a little time to work it out with the doctor.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
I got you.
To throw is Wentz. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a first down on a gain of 10. Wentz now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Throwing is Wentz. Throw out right, hauled in by Arcega-Whiteside. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 more on that one and another first down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? That's caught left side, Arcega-Whiteside. And he'll be brought down right on the 50. A gain of 3. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. Flushed out, trying to get it to Jackson, and it's intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. Boy, what a turnaround. They exited the lockers with a nice lead, and now all of this. What's happened?
So when you start to write your novel, you'll start out with, it was a tale of 2 halves, won't you?
Right, but I'm a bad writer.
I don't know exactly what happened, because sometimes teams can go in with a lead and get too comfortable, too relaxed, and a couple of things go wrong, and it's hard to get back that good feeling.
On first down, Carson. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Yeah, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. So we come up here on 1st and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
At the 38-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
All day, dog.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Derek Barnett able to record his 5th sack of the season. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here.
54, right there, right there. Check.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And that is incomplete.
Well, I haven't met a quarterback yet that doesn't like a target that size. I mean, that's a big, tall receiver, and somehow he missed him anyway.
Yeah, tempting to just put it out there for him to go get it, but dangerous throw and not on target.
Yeah, sometimes even a receiver with that type of catch radius can't haul them in if they're not accurate.
Less than 2 to play with just a field goal separating these two sides. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give them 7 there on the first down carry. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the 4th quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Crunch down, defense.
Now Wentz. And he rifles one incomplete. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time. And it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. That's Ziggy Ansah, the number 5 pick in 2013, credited with a sack.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. So the victory here for Seattle, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off.